The one thing I do remember is whenever Davy was killed, I weighed 367 pounds. And in May of that year, I had knee surgery. I had 2 screws removed from my knee, and I had them taken out, and I remember sitting at my desk in the sunroom of the house that we lived at, and the boys, my 2 younger boys, were outside playing on the hammock, and my daughter was in the swing set, and I had just went outside to check on the boys because we were all passing time. The boys were supposed to be at baseball practice at 5:30 or no 6 o'clock, and it was out at idle hour here in Lexington. And whenever we didn't show up for baseball practice, they knew something was wrong. And it was at idle hour at their baseball practice. I had Justin at one and Davy at the other, and it was all at one field, but I had to run up the hill with one because Davy was at the top of the hill and Justin was at the bottom hill. And I knew I had Stormy, and Stormy was like almost 3 or whatever it was, and I had her on my hip, and I would have to run up the hill and back down the hill, run up the hill and back down the hill, because my husband at the time, he stayed at home, so it was me tugging all 3 kids to baseball practice. And we were just passing time. I told them, I said, you guys just go outside and play while, we're passing time to get you to, I'm, going to go back in and, play on the computer. And I was on Yahoo Messenger, and I was talking to, which now is my husband's ex-wife. I was on Messenger talking to her, passing time, and all of a sudden I heard Justin come screaming. I heard his scream, and it was a really weird scream, and he was screaming to the top of his lungs. He was screaming, "Mommy, Mommy, the tree fell over." And he come pushing the front door in and screaming that he needed my help. And my ex-husband tried to get to the front door and open it, and I pushed him out of the way. And I opened it, and I ran out, and while I was trying to run out, Justin had got to the front door with Davy, and Davy fell over in my arms. And I thought, well, how'd the tree fall over? And he collapsed in my arms, and I thought that it had just, the tree had hit him. Whenever it hit him, it just broke his shoulder and his collarbone. And I was, I could hear a bunch of commotion, and I heard a female's voice yelling something, and I think it was something, "Is everything okay?" or something. She said, "Do you need 911 or something?" And I was like, "No, And then here I was trying to get 911, and then at the time my husband kept saying, "No, you don't need your phone," or something. And then he put all of us in the car and was taking us to the hospital, and we never made it. We got to, I don't know, y'all know anything about Lexington? Okay. Russell Cave Road and U Circle Road. Okay, Russell Cave goes north and south, and New Circle was east and west. We were we lived on Russell Cave, and we were trying to get off of Russell Cave to New Circle, where the McDonald's was or is on New Circle Road at Russell Cave. At that light, it got us stuck there, and Justin had my phone. I was in the back seat, straddled it, and Davey was in the back seat. I was holding his head up, and as I was holding him, I kept talking to him, and I kept telling him, I said, Davey, you got to talk to Mommy, you got to talk to Mommy. And he kept saying, Mommy, my head hurts, Mommy, my head hurts. And I said, Davey, you got to keep talking to me. And I kept looking at him. He would open his eyes, and I kept seeing his eyes dilating. And I knew in the back of my head, I knew something was wrong. I just didn't know what exactly it was. All of a sudden, Justin turned around and he said, Mommy, somebody's on your phone. And my ex-husband yelled, Justin, your mommy can't take your phone. Put the phone down. And Justin kept saying, Mommy, somebody's on your phone. You got to answer this lady. She's on the phone. And my ex-husband again said, Justin, put the damn phone down. Your mommy can't talk to nobody on the phone. And Justin said, Mommy, please take the phone. Mommy, please take your phone. Somebody wants to talk to you. And I turned around and I said, Justin, who is it? And he said, Mommy, I don't know. He said, Mommy, please take your phone. This lady wants to talk to you. And I said, who is it? And he said, I don't know. I said, Justin, I can't talk. And he said, Mommy, please take your phone. He said, she wants to help. And I said, help what? And Davey looked at me again. He said, Mommy, he said, I love you. I said, Davey, please, you got to talk to me. And at that time, I reached for my phone, and I said, hello. I said, this is Annita, who is this? And she said, ma'am, this is 911 operator. She said, where are you? And I said, I'm at Russell Cave and New Circle Road. She said, what's your closest stop? I said, I can pull over at McDonald's. I said, I need help. And I kept hearing something. She said, I said, I hear a siren. And the next thing I remember, she said, how old is the child? And I said, I have my 9-year-old son, and he's been hit by a tree, and I'm trying to hold him up. And I said, I need help. I said, how did I get you? And she says, there was a little boy on your phone. And I said, that's my son. And I paused for a minute. She says, ma'am, hold on with me for just a minute. And I said, I can't. I don't have a minute. There's something wrong. I said, my son. I turned around and I looked at Justin. And he's looking at me. And his little eyes are just as big around. And I said, ma'am, I'm trying to hold it together, but I'm about to lose it. I said, my child, his eyes are dilating, and I can't hold it together anymore. She said, ma'am, she said, I rerouted an ambulance from an accident. They are on their way. She said, do you hear them? And I said, yes, ma'am. I said, I hear them. She said, pull in McDonald's right now. And I'm screaming at my husband. I said, JC, pull in McDonald's now. He said, I'm not going to. Pull in McDonald's now. I said, I don't have a choice. I said, I think I'm losing my son. and I yanked his shoulder, and he pulled in there. And I opened his back door, and I got out, and I was pulling on Davy. And I said to the EMS driver, I said, please tell me he's going to be okay. He said, ma'am, I can't tell you that. He said, we're going to work on him as best as we can. We got to go in the ambulance, and I was trying to call Mac's mother-in-law, and as I was trying to call her, I got her on the phone, and I was trying to tell her what had happened, and I didn't know anything at the time. She was supposed to come up from Mississippi to pick him up for the visitation that weekend for the summer. She told me that she wanted me to let her know what was going on whenever I found something out. And minutes passed by. It seemed like hours to me whenever we got to UK Hospital. I was looking around for my other two kids. It seemed like hours. And I couldn't find my other two kids, and I was freaking out. And then they finally showed up. And a nurse come in and told me I needed to sign some papers because they had to do emergency surgery on him. And I signed the papers. And then it seemed like it was forever before I seen anybody else. And whenever the door opened again, it was 3 doctors and 6 nurses. And they looked at me, and it was eerie. And they told me that they was sorry that they did all they could. And I picked Justin up. And I held on to him. And they told me that they had pronounced Davy gone at 6:08. I think it took me until 11 something that night. They had to force me out of that hospital. Justin couldn't understand why his brother couldn't go home.
How old was Justin?
7. He was 7 at the time. He couldn't understand why his brother wouldn't be able to go with him. He blamed himself for many years. And then he went into the army. And that's what got him through for a little while until I had my motorcycle wreck. And whenever I had my motorcycle wreck, Justin got the phone call that they didn't know if I was going to make it or not through my motorcycle wreck. Then they sent Justin home from Korea. And Justin still ain't been right since.